All right. I want to take a couple minutes to talk about this first issue of this comic book series that I just started called Terror Squad and talk a little bit about what it's about, how it got started, etc. First issue is already out. It's printed by Kablam Printing, available on, if you can see that, indieplanet.com. They did a good job, in my opinion. Uh, did a beautiful job on it. Color and everything, really. Um, but basically, the story takes place about 100 years from now. Basically, United States is no longer exists. It's now a federation of city states. They just did away with the whole pretense of democracy, and it's now corporate run city states. You know, in like seven major metropolises, and you know, countries like split, along racial, economic, and cultural lines. So it's just another way that the elite, the few, can rule the many. Put it like that. Everybody desiring to live inside these major metropolises, all the surrounding smaller city states. That's where all the poor people live. The have-nots. And they all want to gain access to, um, these global run megacore uh, uh, metropolis uh, city states. So the city states offer a path to a better life to those living, on the outside of their border zones. They offer a path to these people to gain access, um, to live inside their city states. They have some. It's generally called the Gifted Souls Program, and what people would do is submit their children, for access to this program, and up top they're saying, we're accepting those with the highest scores, the best physical attributes. Um, you know, they want the smartest and the brightest among you. And, if they're accepted, they complete the training, graduate, the family can then be allowed to live inside, you know, these metropolises with and move up in life, basically. Just have a better life. So, it's a lottery based system, but underneath it, what's really going on? They're they're choosing these children not based on test scores or you know so physical ability or smarts or whatever. They're choosing them on certain genetic markers because what this is a front. The Gifted Souls program, what it is a front for a these they're it's a front for a large scale top secret project, um, dealing with metagene enhancement. That's what they call it. The code name for the corporation that we're dealing with in this initial book, the Eden Corporation. Um, the code name for the top secret project is the Godseed Project. So these people don't know what they're really forking their kids over, you know what I'm saying, to get a better life, because the kids are smart or, bright or physically gifted or whatever. Um, they're really looking for certain genetic markers, DNA um, types, different things of that nature, because what they need bodies for the genetic experiments, because basically, to put it simply, like a super soldier program. Because see, corporate espionage is the that's like corporate warfare. Um, you know, they need bodies. They need assassins. They need people with special abilities, and they can develop those special abilities based on these genetic markers they're looking for. Um, and it's basically experimenting on producing. These kids are coming out once they undergo this program, this experimentation. They come out on the other side with enhanced abilities that the corporations use them for, and their private military forces, um, the corporate espionage, corporate warfare they waged against other corporations. That's the order of the day. So what that's what's really going on underneath um, this concept of acts you give us your best and your brightest, and you'll have access to a better life, within our border zone. So what's really going on is these children are accepted into these programs and basically experimented on. So with Eden Core, with the process they use, they have a because of the applicants, they found that they have a 95% success rate of the applicants coming through and gaining their abilities. But the problem is controlling them afterwards. They have mind scripts that they use had to use to keep them in line, but those are, say, faulty at best. Um, and then you have some that escape, but they have private military forces that are tasked with bringing them back in. Of course, they have them tagged. They have certain markers where no matter where they are, they can find them. So, Terror Squad is the story of a group of escapees from Eden Core uh, and Sinclair Industries, two southeastern corporations that that are running similar programs. And Terror Squad is the story of several escapees that have banded together, and they're now basically fighting for their lives, fighting for survival, trying not to get caught, while at the same time trying to help other escapees, um, trying to help others escape, uh, enacting raids upon facilities that they know about. Different um, members of the group have different motivations, if you will. And one of the ones I touch on in this issue, the first issue, is Kalisha Blackford, who um, her and her sister were accepted into the Gifted Souls program, and her parents were told that they would go through together, but her and her sister was separated early on, and her sister was moved to a different facility, and she hasn't she hasn't heard from her since. So she's got a mad on for finding her sister, finding out what happened, um, getting to the truth of this. So different characters have different motivations, but they do come together um, at times because they it's basically no choice. It's like they're viewed as terrorists by what you would call the mainstream media, what you would call you know they're going to be regarded as terrorists. They're going to be regarded, so they're always going to be on the run. They're going to be quote unquote the bad guys. So I would not. I'm hesitant to just say black superheroes because it's not like they got powers and they're fighting for truth, justice in the American way. It's um it's more like just survival. It's like they were placed in a situation um, that they doing their best to get out of, but the system is so pervasive that there really is no just laying low and happily ever after. It's like you're always going to be on the run. You're always going to have to fight. Constantly going to be, labeled as a terrorist. So it's not like they're fighting crime. It's like atrocities were committed against them that made them what they are. And they can't undo it. So they're just trying to survive with it. But at the same time, they're being hunted by the MTF, that's the Medellin Task Force, private military force um, of Eden Corps, Eden, which stands for Eden Corps, and Eden Corps stands for Engineering, Design, Evolution, Nanotech. So basically, these corporations consider them as property, and they're trying to, you know, they're it's basically nanite technology. It's a nanite serum they have flowing through their veins. They give them the abilities that they have. The corporations feel that you belong to us. We made you. You can't just ain't no getting away. It's like, you know, what you are, we made you. You know what I'm saying? You belong to us. So it's almost like, property. You're trying to get that property back. It's an intellectual property that the tech that we use to create you. We can't let that fall into another corporation's hands. So that's another aspect of it. If the escapees are picked up by one of the other corporate um, other global corporations, one of their competitors, they can reverse engineer the tech maybe, or find out why they're so successful. Their success rate. Everybody wants the best super soldier program. Everybody wants that competitive advantage. So that's what they're in the game for. So of course they want all of these people back. So basically that's what they're up against. And like I said, it's 100 years from now, maybe less than 100. 2106 is the year that this is starting. But that's a basic premise. And uh, what I plan to do is there's a second half to this. This is just an intro um, to the characters and setting up the world that they live in. But there's so many characters. I have there's another book coming, but I'm not. There's no way I could do a monthly book, but probably sometime after the holidays, um, I will come out with the second issue of this. Um, and I may post some pages online um, in between time, depending on how many I can do at once. But after that's done, uh, there's a 4 issue story arc that that um, I have planned to do release, and it'll probably be summer 2019 after Bill is sets. It's a lot, but it's just gonna be straight up action. It's gonna be basically, you know, dropping them into the grinder, and it's just gonna be straight up action adventure. It's a 4 issue story arc of them doing a raid on a facility um, at the same time. Um, some of the say biological weapons that the facility was working on have escaped. So they just gonna be jumping into the fire. So that storyline begins. It'll probably be the summer before I actually started, but I wanted to get a little bit ahead of myself before I release it and try to do it as close to monthly as I can. But my plan is to publish this just until they drop me 6 feet under. Uh, I started on this 2001, 2002, somewhere in there, and I put it on the shelf. You know, just um, a lot of things happened in my life. I had to move back home, helping take care of my father who has Alzheimer's. So it was just like I just put it on the shelf, and it wasn't until 2015 that picked it back up and said, at least need to just, I need to get this out because it's just these characters been living in my head for 14, 15 years now. So um, it is what it is. I'm finally releasing it. So between this and the music, I'm still doing the music, but this takes a lot more time. Um, like the music is a lot easier to me. That's, you know, first and foremost a musician, but in a, still in a, secondary thing is art. Even though I don't draw by hand anymore, this is all computer generated. Um, it's a little bit more time consuming to me to get it right, to get it where I want it. So it'll be coming out. It'll be coming out as I finish it, and you know, um, for those who get it, I hope you enjoy it. I love to, get feedback as to what you think about it, um, and I'll get my website updated soon to have all this stuff, all the information on it as well. But anyway, I hope that kind of gives you an overview of whether it's something you want to check out or not. It's sci-fi. It's sci-fi, and it's going to be just straight up sci-fi action adventure. Uh, with a little bit of horror being introduced to. Probably do another video getting into that, but that's pretty much the overview